Okay, this is a video to help with u4, IXL u4, for the graphing ones. I think my other video just talked about when it was already in y equals mx plus b form, but it looks like some of you are having trouble when it's in standard form, right? When it's like ax plus by equals c. And to graph those, again, you can do two ways. Remember the slope thing. If you have different slopes, it's one solution. If you have the same slope but different y-intercept, there are no solutions. And if it's the same y-intercept, it's the same line, so infinite. So you can do it that way without graphing. I don't know if it actually lets you, but you can know at least what the answer is. And that would be if you just, for this, when it's in standard form, if you just solve for y, then you'll know the slope. Right, so if you subtract x from both sides and then divide by 2, so this becomes 2y equals negative x plus 4, and then divide everything by 2. This is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. And then if you did it to over here, you would subtract x as well, and you would get 2y equals negative x plus 10, and you divide everything by 2. You would get y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. And so in this case, you can see that it has the same slope. So we're here, but different y-intercepts. So there are no solutions. So the answer here is going to be no solutions. If you want to, and you can also graph it if you put it in slope-intercept form. I know it's easier for a lot of you to graph it this way. So you can put it here, and then if you graphed your y-intercept here, your 2, and then down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. And then you could graph it that way. And then this one, you start at 5, but then you have the same slope, down 1 over 2. And so they're never going to touch. So there are no solutions. Okay, so that's one way to solve it. If you don't want to put it in y slope-intercept form, and that's not the way that you like to graph it, remember, you can just graph it from the standard form, the way that we learned. We have our x plus 2y equals 4, and you can use the intercepts. So set 1 equal to 0, x equals 0, then plug in 0 for x, right? There, that means the x just goes away, right? So then this is a 4, divide both sides by 2, y equals 2. So then y equals 2 when x is 0. So you have 0, 2, this point here. You can graph that point. And then do it again with y equals 0, and then knocks that out, so x equals 4. And graph that, and then you can connect the dots like that. And then do the same thing for this one. Plug in x equals 0, that knocks out, so 2y equals 10. Divide by 2, y is 5 here. And then plug in y equals 0, that knocks that out, so x equals 10. And so that is that point there, and then you can connect the dots, and you can see that they never touch. So the answer is no solution. So two different ways to do that standard form. Okay, and let me move on to one more, which is similar, but one is in standard form, the other is in slope-intercept form. So here, if we just wanted to check the slopes, this one, the slope is -1, right? Because that's the number in front of your x here. No, Junie, look. There's a whole other one for you.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
I already did this one.
Wow, looks good, though. Do you guys want crayons so that it doesn't bleed to the next one?
What, Mommy?
Do you want crayons instead of markers?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, and then the slope for this one, you just have to move things around. You subtract x from both sides. So negative 2y equals, let's write it in order, negative x plus 6. And if you divide both sides by -2, then we get y equals, and this is 1/2 x minus 3, and we can see we have different slopes. The slope is 1/2, so this is just going to be one solution. So that's how you do it without graphing. And then to graph them, right, this one's already in slope-intercept form. So we can start at that one, go to -6, and then my slope is -1, so down 1 over 1. So this is my slope there. I mean, this is my line there. And then for the other one, again, you want to do standard form. When x is 0, that goes away. So -2y equals 6 equals -3. So this is when x is 0. So you want to plot 0, -3, which is here. And then when y equals 0, this knocks out. And so x just equals 6. So then you can plot 6, 0, which is here. And then you can see there's going to be one solution. Okay, please email me if you still have questions. Thanks.